Well, hello everybody. I'm back. Welcome back to BDIV and the boys. Sorry for the cancellation of the Thursday show, and I even promised we'd do a show on Friday. I had to cancel both. Some stuff came up. I apologize. Some guys couldn't make it. I even have some own stuff or some of my own stuff going on. But don't worry. Everything that happened over those few days, we're gonna cover it all. We're gonna cover it all. College basketball, football, hockey again today. I want to make this thing for hockey weekly, at least once a week, an NHL roundup. I really want to do that. I think that's a great idea. We're even gonna get into some stuff that we would never, and I mean, I don't even like talking about is TikTok fights. Apparently, there's some fighting between TikTokers versus YouTubers. I don't know what's going on. Actually, I do know what's going on. We're gonna talk about it tonight. Also, free agency news: Juju Smith-Schuster's back. Great deal. All that shenanigans. Does it actually hurt or help the Steelers? We're gonna talk about that tonight. Kenny Golladay signs a big contract, and we're just going to talk about overall cap stuff along those lines. Again, if you have any questions, want to help out the show, even donate money, I'm broke, please email me bdivatb@gmail.com. I was obviously kidding there. I don't need your money. We're okay. My hair looks really dumb. Really dumb. Really dumb. Okay, so what am I wearing today, folks? What am I wearing today? So I have some pretty cool hats here. I mean, this looks sick. I don't even know. This is a pretty cool hat right here. And then I got the Taco Bell T-shirt on. I mean, what else? And then the ninth grade suit, of course, as always. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna get into it here. First thing I want to talk. I didn't make tabs again. I always forget to make tabs. I forget to make tabs every time. The first thing I want to talk about. Oh, breaking news. Forgot. Breaking news. LeBron James, high ankle sprain, out for the year. He's done. See ya. Bye. LeBron done for the year. This is no good. The Lakers are playing pretty darn good basketball right now. They just recently beat the Hornets. Actually, no, I'm going to bring in Brandon here because he knows a little more about this than I do. Brandon, what's up?
What's up, man?
Hey, LeBron, he just got hurt. Tell me a little bit what happened. High ankle sprain. What's going on?
So I'll tell you how the injury happened because I posted a clip on my YouTube channel. By the way, just hit 1.6K subscribers on there, so appreciate the love from everybody supporting the channel.
Yes, and go subscribe more. If you haven't, he is very good. Posts clips of everything and gives his opinion on it. Please go subscribe. But Brandon, again, what happened to LeBron?
All right, so LeBron, it was a game between the Hawks and Lakers, which the Hawks won, but that don't matter. But the Lakers, LeBron was going for the ball, right? LeBron had the ball, and as two Hawk players were going for the ball when LeBron had it, LeBron was competing against them two players, and then this dude named Solomon Hill, instead of going for the basketball, went for his leg, and that's how LeBron got hurt. A lot of Laker players ain't happy about the injury, including Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell. They basically called it a non-basketball play and said it's absolutely dirty, and it was a Bush League play. So looking at the clip, I think they have a case because I don't know if Solomon Hill necessarily went for the basketball. I think he went for his leg, but that's just the way I looked at it.
So we're looking at a dirty basketball play here. I mean, I'm going to be honest. If LeBron James walked up to me right now and it was like, hey, Billy, I kind of need an ankle right now, I wouldn't give it to him because I have bad ankles. But I think definitely somebody should give this man LeBron an ankle. I mean, listen, the Lakers right now, I'm going to be honest. Is AD back yet?
No, he's going to be out. He's going to be out for another month.
Another month without AD. I'm going to be honest. I mean, that Lakers team has some depth, but I mean, I don't. Brandon, how much trouble are the Lakers in now that LeBron might be out for the year?
Obviously, you're in huge trouble. I made you lose one of the greatest players of all time. The Lakers, without LeBron, they're a first round exit. They're done in the first round.
Ooh.
You don't think so? You don't think?
No, I'm not saying that. I agree with you. It's just, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one, man. LeBron, obviously one of the best players to ever do it. now hurt. I mean, this is definitely a team that could make a run pretty far in the playoffs, but you have to have everybody there. Without LeBron, without AD, for a matter of fact, which they've been playing okay without him, but they still that he's definitely a need for the team. I have to agree with you here. I don't see them going very far in the playoffs,
Yeah.
and yeah, LeBron fills every role in that team. He plays the one, he plays the two, he plays everything. So yeah, I think LeBron being out is really gonna hurt that Lakers squad.
Yeah, man. The Lakers margin for error is like really small. You know what I mean? It's a really small margin for error because the Lakers are a team, if when they're fully healthy, they're going to be a hard team to beat, like really hard. But to me, if LeBron or AD are out for the playoffs, then the Lakers are done. Because listen, man, like with AD, literally you could triple team AD, make other guys beat you if LeBron ain't on the court. And with LeBron, the question is will the other guys around LeBron step up without AD in the playoffs? Because yeah, Dennis Schroeder in regular season is better than Rajon Rondo. But the thing is, Rajon Rondo is on another level when it comes to playoffs. Will Dennis Schroeder play well in the playoffs? Will Montrezl Harrell play well in the playoffs? Because Montrezl Harrell played terrible in the playoffs last year. So there's a lot of questions for this Laker team. Honestly, man, it's tough, man, losing LeBron. And
Yeah.
I don't know, man. If I'm the Lakers, though, I mean, here's how I look at it if I'm the Lakers. I take my time with LeBron because I won the title last year. I have him under contract for a couple more years. Am I really, really going to risk LeBron's long-term health just to win it this year when I have AD and LeBron under contract for the next 4 years? I don't know. So if I'm the Lakers, I play the long game with it.
Oh no, definitely. I think again, this is. I mean, obviously, finals wise, LeBron isn't the greatest player, but still, that's aside from the point. That I agree with you. This is a player that literally carried you so far into the playoffs, eventually winning a title for that matter. But that was with Anthony Davis. I think that's just the whole thing here is that now that they don't have Anthony Davis still, I just think this Lakers team is going to go to crap. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's going to go to crap. Again, there is a lot of questions here.
Well,
Will
I
Harold
have
be
a
able to
question.
play? What's up?
How the Lakers are the second seed in the Western Conference right now. Well, LeBron and AD, how far will they slide in the
Ooh.
standings?
Dude, they I'm gonna be honest. I mean, how many what we're 2 weeks after the All Star break, so we still have a little ways to go. So I'm gonna be honest. Let's just put it this way. I think with LeBron gonna be out for a while, and Anthony Davis again another whole month, 3 or 4 weeks. I think that this is seriously gonna be a team. They're not gonna be in trouble where they're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to be in trouble where they're going to have a seriously tough matchup in the first round of the playoffs. And like you said, without both of those guys, they're in trouble. They are in very
Huge
much
trouble.
trouble.
And
Yeah, and I
I
agree with you there.
and if LeBron and AD are out, who do you have as the favorite to win the Western Conference?
I mean, what do you think? Who is your Western
I
favorite?
to me, before the injury, I think it's the Clippers if they get a point guard. If the Clippers get a point guard, because I heard rumors that they're going after Lonzo Ball. They're going to try to pooch him from the Pelicans.
Ooh.
If they can get Lonzo up in there with PG and Kawhi, I think they can make a serious run. But I don't like what I've been seeing from the Clippers either. So I'll be honest with you. I think the Joker, Jamal Murray, and the Denver Nuggets, as of right now, are the team that I would have as of right now. If the Clippers get a point guard, I'll change my mind. But as of right now, I like the Denver Nuggets.
So do I. And I just saw the clip the other night of the game winner, or was it to send to OT? I can't remember the Jamal Murray 3-pointer. What a
Yep.
beautiful play. And honestly, that right there, that entire play just summed up the connection between those two. I mean, Jokic is averaging what, 7, 8 assists a game, which is
He,
unheard of from a big
Jokic
man.
is the MVP.
Oh, well, right now I couldn't disagree anymore. Or
It
I
ain't even
could
a race.
I just said I couldn't disagree anymore. Idiot, idiot, idiot. No, 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 no. I couldn't agree anymore. Not disagree, idiot. No, I think a guy who averages that many points on a winning team, I agree. The guy, there's clearly a connection between those two. And again, I agree with you again on the fact that the Clippers need a point guard. And honestly, if they get somebody like Lonzo Ball, who as a scorer, he's capable, but as a passer and with vision is really good. You already have guys like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George who could definitely put the ball through the hoop. And that
Be-
they already have that. They have that figured out. They have offense figured out. Defensively, I'm not really sure how good Lonzo is. He definitely has a bit
well,
of a frame. What's that?
I'll say this about Lonzo and his defense. The one thing you need in basketball, you need someone that knows how to get like the players in their right spots, right? Because see, that's the whole thing. It's like, why can't Kawhi Leonard do that? Because that's not Kawhi Leonard's personality. That's not Kawhi Leonard's role to try to get his teammates in the right spots. Kawhi is like Michael Jordan. Kawhi Leonard needs the ball in certain spots to score the ball. You know what I mean? And so does Paul George. Paul George and Kawhi struggle getting other players involved because that's never been their role. They need to bring in a point guard like Lonzo Ball or Rajon Rondo, two guys that can get Kawhi and PG into the right spots, you know what I mean, on the court. Because that's key, man. You know what I mean? Jokic is an anomaly, and he's like a point center. He's an
Yeah.
anomaly. But they need someone like that, man. And also for the Clippers, I think they need one more big body too. I think they need one more center and a point guard, and I think they're set.
Yeah, and I think that's a great place to end off right now for the NBA. Brandon, I'll send you off here again. I couldn't agree anymore. That this is definitely a team that has the big men, but need a little bit depth down there. The Nuggets could definitely make a run. But let's get into our first story of the day. I like to call this one Watson Whoopsies. Okay, Watson Whoopsies. Here we go. Now, this is a disclaimer. I am not, you can read what you want on the internet. I am not going to get very detailed into this because the rumors are very gross, to say the least here. So let's talk about Watson Whoopsies for a second and what Deshaun Watson did wrong. So not one, not two, not three, but seven women, unnamed women, of course, came out and publicly said that Deshaun Watson has been sexually assaulting them in numerous ways. Again, not going to get into detail because you can read on that on your own, and we're a family friendly channel here. But let me just read into the lines a little bit here. So these were okay. I'm sorry. This is the deepest I'm going to go. The four lawsuit files that were filed on last Thursday night. So this happened from March 30th of last year to December 28th of last year. So this almost happened a year ago, and let's just say it was a massage session. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying about it. Again, but he's in trouble. He he's just trying to clear on Twitter. He said he's trying to clear his name right now, from the whole situation. He basically said that he thinks the allegations are stupid. He used the word I don't even know what that word means. Um, yeah. So this is what Deshaun Watson had to say on Twitter. Sexual assault is real. Victims should be heard. Offenders prosecuted. Individuals fabricate stories in pursuit of financial gain often. The victims should be heard and those offenders also prosecuted. I simply hope we can keep this same energy with the truth. Here we go. Time to ask opinions. Frazzy, I'll bring you in here first. Watson Whoopsies. Fraz, I'm not going to ask you your opinion on the whole situation because again, I don't want anybody here to slip up, accidentally say something that they shouldn't. So we're gonna keep it because I know I would. So that's why we're gonna keep it PG here. Fraz, looking at this situation, how much do you think Deshaun Watson now is in trouble based on like a free agency standpoint in the NFL.
Yeah, until he gets cleared. I mean, I don't know if this is all true. I mean, obviously, I mean, we don't know. I mean, we saw a lot on the internet, but a lot has been said with some other people. There's been, one girl, and then it just has jumped to like a crazy number. So you don't know if these women are telling the truth. Maybe they are. Maybe this is actually, the truth. Maybe Deshaun Watson did this, but yeah, it would definitely affect him football wise. A lot of teams definitely wouldn't, or definitely would take this into consideration. And what's going on, Mr. Depew?
Yo, what's up?
What's going on?
Oh wow! I don't know why. On
Dude,
my
get him
end,
on
I
here.
don't
Get
think-
him on here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get him on here. Get him on here.
They already left. They already left.
No, we need him on here.
That will be for a future day. I'm working something out. Okay, I'm working something out. I'm gonna be honest. I'm working something out.
No.
No, I listen. On my screen, everybody's lagging. I don't think I'm lagging, but that's aside from the point. I can still hear you. We can still hear you guys very well. But yeah, Fraz. I think until his name really gets cleared, this they might. I mean, this might be an issue here. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if you,
This is just
I don't know if it's like, I mean, Dwayne Haskins. I mean, we know the incident that happened with him. Steelers,
yeah.
Steelers signed him. Even though he did do something that was, not what a normal person usually does. But
yeah, not
but
what a
yeah,
normal person usually does.
but talent is talent. Teams need quarterbacks, and Deshaun Watson's a quarterback that a team would definitely need. So then again, I also think, screw it. I mean, maybe this will like blow away soon.
Blow away. Oh, sorry. PG. PG.
That's your
PG.
fault. That's not my fault.
Nope. You set me up. It was funny, Joe. It was funny.
No.
It was funny. It was funny. It was funny. Okay, yeah, no. I think I just think that's how it works. From the past, there have been some incidents where, in Deshaun Watson's situation, they've been in the right, but there's also been instances where they've been in the wrong. So I just think, again, there are teams that need quarterbacks right now, and I don't know if do teams just set this aside. Caden, I'll bring you on. Caden, what's up, buddy?
What's up?
Okay, Caden, Watson whoopsies going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think teams just set this whole thing aside and just solely look at Deshaun Watson as a player?
I think if you're a team like Carolina, who does need a quarterback pretty badly right now, I think you just got to put it to the side. I mean, he's a generational talent, guilty or not guilty. You got to take the risk. And if it doesn't work, you still got Teddy Bridgewater, you got PJ Walker, and you can even draft a guy like Trey Lance. I think it's a good, smart investment if you're a team like Carolina or Miami. But obviously, you still got to be like, hey, do we have any evidence? Do we have any of this before making the final deal?
Yeah, and I'm gonna be like, that's pretty much it. He is a generational talent. I personally, I went through every quarterback. I made like a power ranking, if you will. I had him like at number 3. He's like the third best quarterback in the NFL right now, behind Mahomes and Josh Allen. But again, I think Deshaun Watson. I just think he was put in a bad situation here. Again, this is me and Brandon were talking before this. This is terrible timing. Again, this is why, again, I'm not going to get a little too detailed here, but this is a little suspect that this happened literally almost a year ago. And now that comes out at the worst time. Deshaun Watson wants out of Houston, and teams might use that against him, not only just for signing, but also for money. I mean, like teams might lowball him now, be like, hey, listen, you're in trouble, dude. You're under fire. So like you got to take a shot on a team here. Obviously, you screwed it up in Houston, which wasn't his fault. It's all Bill O'Brien's fault. Nobody else's fault but Bill O'Brien's and front office. But yeah, that I think that's a good place to stop on the Deshaun Watson situation, because again, you guys can read it yourself. We're not allowed to talk about it. What I read was just very gross, and I hope it's not true. I hope it's not true, because that was a bit weird. But we're gonna move on here. We'll move on to college basketball. I'll bring you guys back in a second. Obviously, March Madness is here. From what I know, 15 perfect brackets are left. Where did Brandon go? No, Brandon left. I'm sure he'll be back. 15 perfect brackets left. I cannot talk today. Between ESPN Tournament Challenge and the actual CBS March Madness, there's only 15 perfect brackets left. That is absolutely insane. There he is. But the one game, the biggest bracket buster so far, it's pretty simple. If you've been following college basketball, Ohio State University, like the Ohio State, lost to Oral Roberts University, a school that is named after some old guy. Like, who names their kid Oral? I don't know. Not me. I would obviously name my kid Wilbert. I mean, because, we got a thing going here. But let's look into this a little bit. So, Ohio State obviously did not have the ending to their regular season that they would like to. Last Tuesday, last Tuesday, they had lost to number 1 Illinois in the Big Ten tournament. That's pretty much what happened there. And yesterday, they lost to number 15 seed Oral Roberts. I mean, but I will say this. Let me see if I can find his name. There was one guy who put up like 30 points, I think. Max Abmas. He's the nation's leading scorer. He's 6'1", 165 pounds. Not really much of a frame. But yeah, I mean, from what I know, it was still a close game. So it's not like the USMBC game that one time where the 16 seed beat the 1 seed and it wasn't even close. This was a close game. I believe it was a 1-possession game. From what I know, this was just a firing squad game. Yeah, and so the game started just like that. Oral Roberts came out with a 7-0 run. Abe Miss, I think that's his name. Scored 5 of those points. And then after that, this was a back and forth game. The Buckeyes, the Ohio State University, scored a 10-0 run of their own. And then after that, Oral Roberts hit a 3, 10-10. I'm reading this all as it's happening. Let me skip down. This is almost like a play-by-play. I mean that's pretty much it. So let's just look into this a bit further. Oral Roberts was ranked 247th nationally in adjusted defense efficiency, which I think that basically just means overall how good a team is on the defensive end. I can't wrap my head around this. This is just, I don't know how a team like Ohio State, who personally I had Ohio State in the championship. I had them playing Gonzaga. That's an absolute bracket buster. I know some people at least having them going to the Final Four. This was a crazy game. And so again, I don't think we really need to go into too much more detail about that. Again, 15 perfect brackets left. There's still a few games left to be played tonight. But we're gonna move on here to, I know Caden's about to love this. We're gonna get into the NHL roundup again. I'll actually bring him in right now. Like I said, NHL roundup. I want to do this at least once a week. So Caden, once a week, I want to have you back on here, basically talk about hockey for just a little bit. So obviously, let's talk about the Penguins first. So the Pens had a 3-1 victory over the Devils after losing 2 straight. Aston Reese scored. Who played this Smith?
The Smith in that today.
I've never heard of this guy.
He's just a backup, not really a name to really look into much.
Crasby had 2 assists. Brian Rust and Jake Ginsel also scored. So Caden, give us a recap of that game. How did that game go? Was it a smooth game for the Pens all around?
It hasn't been smooth for the Pens for the last little bit. Injuries have been a big problem, obviously. Gino Malkin's been out. Jason Zucker. Brandon Tanev got hurt in the warm-ups, one of their energy guys. Teddy Bluger's out, one of their best face-off guys. So little bit of the offense has slowed down a bit without those guys in the lineup. But I think guys like Zach Aston-Reese and some of the younger guys like Anthony Angelo, they've really stepped up to take the pressure off guys like Crosby, Gensel, and Rust. And they looked pretty good today. Not a perfect game by any means. A lot to improve on, but there's not really much you can do when half your team's full of AHL forwards.
Yeah, and isn't Malkin like week by week now?
He's out. He's week to week now, so at least the next week without him.
Yeah, so lower body injury for Malkin. I think how much does that hurt the team? I mean, that's a pretty big loss there for Malkin.
It's huge, especially when their third line center, like I said, Teddy Bluger's out. Luckily, Jared McCann, who can play center, came back today from injured reserve, so that was a huge help to them, especially with Tanev out. So it's definitely going to hurt them for their next few games, but playing teams like New Jersey, who aren't very good, and Buffalo, they're lucky it's not against some of the juggernauts like Philadelphia, Washington, and Boston this week.
Yeah, just to talk about what the Devils did against us here, because obviously they put up a goal. Kyle Palmieri?
Yeah, Kyle Palmieri.
Yeah. He put one in the net for the Devils, and their goalie, Scott Wedgwood, 26 saves off of 29 shots. He had 2 starts for them in his second consecutive start, and he had also won their 2 previous games for the Devils as well. So, Caden, as a playoff standpoint, how are the Penguins looking overall right now? What are we looking at?
Right now, they're in a good playoff spot. It also helps that the Flyers are not doing very good. They've only won, I think, one of their last 5. They lost 9-0 to the Rangers, and I'm pretty sure before this started, they were down 4-1 to the Islanders. So the Islanders are looking really good. I believe we're in second or third right now. I think we're still battling with Boston, but they're in a good spot. They need to keep winning these games, though, because the Flyers at any point can turn it on, and so can the Rangers, who are in 6th.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is a Penguin squad who is battling a ton of injuries right now. We're going to come back to Crosby in a little bit, but there's a few more games I want to go over. Avalanche Wild, and the Avalanche absolutely killed the Wild today, 6-0. Dude, I'm going to be honest. These names, they're all Canadian names. They're Russian names. I know that. Philip Grubauer?
Grubauer, yeah.
Yeah, 31 saves today. He played amazing for them. Oh my God, these names, dude. Gabriel Landeskog.
Gabriel Landeskog. Yeah, you're doing
good
with the belt.
2 assists. And the win for Colorado. Some other stats here. Why does everybody have such weird names? Cale Makar.
Cale
Makar had a goal and a dime. Nathan McKinnon. Why is it spelled like that though? He had 3 assists. What are these names? Mikko
Rantanen.
He's tallying up the points right now. That's his 3rd goal in 2 games. So then there's a few other guys here. Tyler Jost, Devin Don't tell me that's
Toes. It's Taze.
Okay.
It looks like toes, but it's
and the last one to score a goal is Valerie Nishkinen.
Valerie
Did I get that right?
Nichushkin.
Oh, I was so close. Yeah. So again, important stat to note: Grubauer. That's his 5th shutout of the season, 16th of his career. So, Caden, was this just a easy matchup for the Avalanche here, or was this just simply like the Avalanche just being one of the better teams in the NHL?
The Wild are a decent team. They've done a very good job for a team that was supposedly rebuilding. They have a young guy like Kirill Kaprizov from Russia they got, and he's amazing. I mean, the Wild have done really good for what they were expected to do. But when you go up against a team like the Avalanche, who were pretty much named off-season champions and Stanley Cup champions before the game started for the 2021 season, what this is expected for the Avalanche to do. And with guys like Nathan McKinnon, Gabriel Landeskog, Mikko Rantanen, they're just going to pile points up. And they got young defensemen like Cale Makar, who won the Calder last year. Grubauer's been amazing. Like you said, his 5th shutout.
Very.
this Avalanche team is deadly. They're going to run through the West probably in the playoffs, so it's not a surprise to see them beat down a team like the Wild that easily.
So is this Avalanche team like a cup contender, if you will?
Oh, 100%. They made some really good trades in the offseason and signings, and they got a whole lot better. And they were definitely contenders last year. They didn't do as well as they should have in the playoffs last year, but looking at this year, they're going to probably, in my opinion, be probably in the conference final at least.
That there you go, folks. That's the Cadence prediction for the Avalanche. Again, Wild, we saw this coming. This is a team that supposedly is starting to rebuild, but again, they're not playing bad hockey. They're not playing terrible hockey. But let's move on. Let's move on to another game here. Wait. Oh no. Sorry. Yeah, this is right. So the Panthers beat the Predators 2-0. Very good game. Oh my god, dude. These names are unreal. The goalie for the Panthers.
Chris Driedger.
Chris Driedger. 21 shot stop. Shutout for him. For the Panthers, your goal scorers were why do you spell Alexander right like that? Alexander Barkov and Anthony Duclair.
Yeah, Duclair.
And they scored for them. The Panthers dominated Nashville in a victory in beautiful Sunrise, Florida. As for the Predators, I mean, Saros, the goalie for Nashville, just took a beating, and it was not his fault. He played very good. Stopped 47 shots stopped 47 shots, 2 win in, obviously, so a total of 49. That's a great save percentage, obviously. I mean, 47 shots, Caden. If I'm not wrong, that's a lot of shots.
Yeah, that's a lot to give up in a game. Nashville's not doing very good by any means. After they got to the final in 2017 versus the Penguins, they obviously lost. Going to 2018, they made the playoffs, didn't do well. 2019, they completely are terrible. I mean, they made the wild card or whatever you want to call it, beat Arizona. But it's this Nashville team has done a complete turnaround from where they were in 2017. They have most of the same roster too. So you think like, oh, the chemistry should work, like everything should be good for Nashville, but they're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I mean, it really looks like it. How do you let up 47 shots? And my credits go to Saros. He's a really good goalie. 47 shots has been pretty good. And you have to remember, he hasn't started a game since March 7th. So
yeah.
So having a little bit of time off during that stretch and then coming out here 2 weeks later and stopping 47 shots, kudos to him. That's pretty much it for that game. One more game I want to cover, the Lightning Blackhawks game. Lightning won 4-1. Oh my goodness! Goalie for Lightning, Andre
Vasilevsky.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Vasilevsky.
So he's on a tear right now. He's won 11 straight, stopped 30 shots. Very impressive for him. Hedman moved the puck obviously very well. 3 dimes today. And the Lightning take the dub at home. Okay, I know this one. Steven Stamkos. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
How old is Steven Stamkos?
Man, he's a few years younger than Crosby. He's like 30, 31 years old.
Oh, dude, I thought he was older than Crosby because that's a name I remember.
He was drafted in 2008, I believe. Yeah, 2008.
Yeah, he's a blonde dude, right?
Yeah, blonde boy.
Isn't Steven Stamkos blonde? Okay, yeah. So anyway, Steven Stamkos, goal and a dime for him. The other goal scorers for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Yanni Gourde.
Yanni Gourde.
Why did I add the E on that? Anthony Cirelli. That name sounds very familiar. Why does that name sound familiar?
He played with Erie of the Ontario Hockey League a few years ago. I don't know if that was why it rings a bell for you.
I mean,
he doesn't like the news or something,
Erie hockey, but hey, I mean, that name just sounds very familiar. And Braden Point, those 4 guys all scored for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Alex Alex DeBrincat?
DeBrincat, yeah. Another Erie Otters legend right there.
This is like an English lesson for me. This is something else. He was the only goal scorer for the Blackhawks, and they're not playing really good hockey right now. I'll let you elaborate on that, but they've lost 4 straight, and they're 6 of 7. So, and their goalie Malcolm Subban finished with 25 saves. So, why are the Blackhawks playing bad hockey right now? Like, what's the problem over there?
So, beginning of the season, they lost their captain Jonathan Toews to an illness. He always said, "All right, I'm not going to play. It's not worth playing this season. I got to get my health to full strength." And then their other young prospect, Kirby Dach, went to the World Juniors for Canada and broke his hand. So they're without their 2 top centers right now. And then they lost defenseman Brent Seabrook, who decided to retire, and then goaltender Corey Crawford to free agency. So whole young regime. They always said they're rebuilding, but they still got Patty Kane, DeBrincat, some of their elite guys. So they started off the season pretty well. They were overachieving by all means. This was kind of expected to happen. They're in the same division with the Tampa Bay Lightning, who won the Stanley Cup, and the Carolina Hurricanes, who are on a tear along with the Florida Panthers. So this was going to happen at some point. I mean, they're not a great hockey team. They're just very young and inexperienced.
Yeah, so from what I remember, I mean, you can testify for me for this. Are the Lightning a good team overall? Like, how are they playing right now?
The Lightning, they're doing a good job. They're not playing where they were last year. They were without Nikita Kucherov, their leading goal scorer. He's on long-term IR. And they obviously had to let some guys go because they were up against the salary cap. They still are. But they're playing good hockey, and I think when the playoffs start to roll around, they're going to return to form the way they should. But right now, they're not playing the best hockey, but good enough to get them into the playoffs and do what they do best and win games.
Yeah, that's all. That's why I asked, because I do remember the Lightning were playing pretty good last year, so that's why I thought of that. Last thing I want to talk about. I think this is a pretty dumb topic personally, but I think we should talk about it because I think it is a bit important. Sidney Crosby trade rumors. Now he shut them all down. Everybody shut them all down. Let me just get into this a little bit. Crosby said last Friday that he had. That actually might have been this was yesterday. He said he has no interest of being moved after rumors that his after speculations, about his future arose ahead of the deadline, the trade deadline, which is April 12th, I think.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think it's April 12th. Quoted, Crosby said, "I'd love playing here. This is where I'd love to play for the rest of my career." So where this all started, Jim Rutherford, he stepped down as the Penguins GM in January after about, I think, 7 years as the Penguins GM, and basically just said it was for personal reasons. We haven't really got a reason why. A reporter said that the new front office for the Penguins wanted to start a rebuild. So there was more rumors about not only Crosby, but we saw Malkin in trade rumors. We saw Letang in trade rumors, basically for draft picks and really start to rebuild a young team. So Dan Kingreski, I think that's his name, from Penguins. Yeah, he is a reporter from Penguins Hockey Now, or Pittsburgh Hockey Now. There was a rumor that the Montreal Canadiens and the Pittsburgh Penguins were amongst talk of a blockbuster deal that included Crosby. I mean, Crosby. I don't see it at all. He's been the driving force behind the Steelers' extended run as a top-tier Stanley Cup contender. So obviously we saw title wins 09, 16, 17. So, Caden, at 33 years old, I already know the answer. Is there any way that the Penguins are going to get rid of Sidney Crosby ever?
Ever? I don't think. But there's always the slight possibility. You can never rule it out. And the only reason I say that is you look at Wayne Gretzky in the Oilers. He won 5 Stanley Cups there, and they turned around and traded him. He was supposedly, "I'm an Oiler for life. I don't want to leave." And you can see in the press conference, he started crying when he found out he was traded to the Kings. I mean, it's possible. I think anything is possible, but I don't see it happening. I think he's very loyal. I think Mario would not let him get traded by any management point. Maybe that's why Jim Rutherford was fired, because he was like, hey, you're not trading Crosby, you're not trading Malkin, you're not trading Letang. If we have these three here, we're contending no matter what. And I think that's the mindset that he gave to Ron Hextall. He said, hey, we have three of the best players in the world. We're going to fight for a championship until they retire.
Yeah, and I'm just worried, and then we'll move on after this. I'm just worried that you know, I've seen it happen before, not only just in hockey but in other sports as well. These players who have had outstanding careers, amazing careers, and then they just have they leave a bad taste in their respected sport. The best one I can think of is, for example, like Emmett Smith when he went to the Cardinals at the end of his career. He played awful in Arizona, and that's arguably one of the reasons why he's not the best running back of all time, because he didn't have an ending like Barry did. He didn't have an ending like Walter Payton did. So yeah, as far as Crosby goes, I would love for him to stay a Penguin forever. Comparing to football, perfect example. I mean, even though he got traded earlier on, Drew Brees. That's what I think of. Obviously played for the Chargers early on in his career, moved on to New Orleans, broke all types of records, won some Super Bowls, and then retired as a Saint. And I think that was a great move. And yeah, that's the bottom line with Crosby. I would even say the same thing for Malkin too. Even Letang. Those three guys in general have just built the Penguins to what they are today. And definitely the reason why they made all these runs. Caden, we're going to come back to you in a little bit. But folks, finally, what we'd love to talk about here on the show, and I'll say it once and I'll say it again. I've been trying to get away from football. But we can't. We can't get away from football. Too much has happened. We'll get into Juju a little bit, but let's talk about another receiver. Kenny Golladay has agreed to a contract with the New York Giants. I have a New York Giant fan here. I'll bring him in right now. But Frazzy, before I ask you about your opinion with the whole thing, let me get into the details here. So Ian Rappaport, the GOAT of Twitter contracts, 4 years, $72 million deal that includes $40 million guaranteed. Fraz, do you like this signing for the New York Giants?
Yeah, they had to make a big trade for a wide receiver sometime, and Kenny Golladay is a great guy, I think, for the Giants. I also thought he may potentially be a Steeler. I don't know about you, but I thought that could have been a landing spot for Kenny Golladay, but the Giants definitely made a good choice here with Kenny Golladay for, it's a kind of a big contract. I don't know how much it is a year. It's about 18 million, I think. What is it,
Yeah,
4
it's
years?
18 a year.
18 a year. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they had to make a big signing for a wide receiver, and I think Galladay's, he was was he one or two? I mean, what would you say, Marvin Jones or
No,
Kenny?
any outside receiver, even Tyreek Hill isn't even the number one. Whoever the outside receiver is, so he was the one. You had Marvin Jones too, and then I don't know who else they had. So the Lions again are kind of in trouble at receiving. Brandon, are you there? There he is. Okay, Brandon, here we are. Kenny Golladay just got signed. Pretty juicy contract. Was this a good move for the New York Giants?
I mean, I like it. It'll create headlines. It'll create buzz. But the question is, I have this question for Matt. Do you believe in Daniel Jones long term as the franchise quarterback?
Danny
You
Football, what
know,
are you thinking?
I don't know. I think this year is definitely going to be the determining factor for Daniel Jones. I don't think right now, if you told me or asked me, is he a long-term quarterback? No. If he does something different this year, puts up some numbers, even gets him to a playoff, this year, or a playoff game this year, I think then we can, make a contract for him for maybe 3-4 years and keep him. I do like Daniel Jones though. I like how he got a lot better throughout the season, and showed some potential, and at the quarterback spot. So yeah.
All right, and then with Goldaway, man, I like Kenny Goldaway. Very underrated receiver. The only reason he don't get enough props is because he was in Detroit, obviously, with the Lions. But he's a baller, man. I think he'll be a great addition to the New York Football Giants, man. I really like him. And
Yeah,
the NFC East, man, that's tough between the Cowboys, the Washington Football Team, and the New York Football Giants. As of right now, I think that the Washington Football Team is the best team in the division because of their defense. But man, tough call.
yeah, yeah. The football team definitely made some moves this year, and same with the Cowboys with that signing of Dak Prescott. So it's all up in the air what's going to happen with that division. I know they were definitely the worst division last year, so they're definitely going to be a tough division this year, and hopefully the Giants come out on top. But that's me.
Yeah. Now um, looking at a cap space standpoint, looking at the Giants right now, they're kind of in the same boat as the Steelers. They are hovering around 6 million left in cap space. So again, I don't know if that's enough to really work much else in free agency. I think you have to have at least 10 mil to make any moves. Because I'm gonna be honest, unless it's an older guy or a player like Juju, who we're gonna get into in a little bit, unless there's somebody willing to take a cut like that, there's not really much you can do with under 10 million if you're really trying to make a run or trying to make a big move for that matter. But in my opinion, I think Kenny Golladay, the Giants way overpaid Kenny Golladay. I think 18
Ooh.
million is way too much. I don't see a team. I see teams paying that much elsewhere too. But that's the problem. The market value right now is very low for receivers, exception Kenny Golladay. All these other receivers are not getting paid the way I think they should, and that's why you're seeing these smaller contracts. And that's again, I'll get into it in a second. That's why I think Juju I love Juju. Don't get me wrong, but that it's not because Juju loves Pittsburgh and he's willing to take a cut. Blah blah blah. The teams. No, that's not what's going on here. What's going on here is the wide receiver market's very bad, and the agent knew, hey, we got to wait a year. It's basically a franchise tag, but not a franchise tag, if you will. That's how I look at it and Juju's standpoint. But again, I don't know if Kenny Galladay is
Disagree on
worth
that
18 million. I don't
I have to
know.
disagree on that one with Juju. I think it was more loyalty type thing here, Billy. I really think if he wanted to go to Kansas City, he definitely would have.
Yeah.
He would have been playing every single game. There wouldn't have been no question about it. Definitely, Kansas City's still a playoff team, I believe, and I think it was very good. And you don't see me and my dad were just talking about this today. You don't see any wide receivers or running backs really, stay with their team with loyalty. It's all about the money, and Juju kind of set aside the money and knew what he wanted to do was stay in Pittsburgh, and I actually really admired that from him.
Yeah. I think I always thought Juju was coming back if Ben came back. I think if Ben would have retired, I think Juju would have left. But I think since Ben came back, because Ben and Juju are very close, so I think Ben coming back definitely influenced Juju's decision to re-sign with the Steelers.
Yeah, I sort of agree with you guys there, but again, I just think the wide receiver market this year was not so great. The highest Juju was offered was a $9 million contract. Obviously, there was some incentives based there. The Ravens, I think, were upward to 14, 15 mil. And that's where I think Kenny Galladay should have gotten paid around. I think 15, 16 mil for Kenny Galladay, who was a nobody a couple years ago. Is now a good receiver. I'm not taking any credit away from Kenny because he's a good football player.
All
But
right.
I'm not sure there's any receiver in the NFL. Or no, that's not true. I'm not sure if any of these receivers in free agency this past year are worth more than 15 mil. Brandon.
All right, here's a question for you. Who would you rather have, Juju or Kenny Golladay? Juju at 8 million or Kenny Golladay at 18 million? Who would you rather have?
100% Juju. 100%. I would even argue that Juju is the better player. I think Juju's more. I think his routes are better. I don't know about hands. Kenny's a great jump ball player. Mimics Mike Evans hand in hand. But I think I like Juju's routes. I think he's very more versatile. You could see short, mid, and deep routes from Juju. So I don't know. Matt, what are you thinking here?
Matt, did you just
Oh
call
my
me
God.
Matt? Yeah.
I called
that's
him
good.
Matt.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
It's Fraz, damn it.
Yeah.
It is Fraz. Fraz, move your mic a little bit closer to you. You're a bit
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah. So, your question was Juju or Kenny for?
With the contracts that were made.
Okay. God. I mean, it just depends on what team you are. You know, if you want to save money, or you want to go, for a good player, and give him some more money, give him some more liking to the team that he's going to with that money. I don't think Kenny Galladay was overpaid though. I liked where he was with that 18 million. I mean, I think he's a really good wide receiver. I've seen him in the Lions. He's always been a nice deep threat for the Lions. Tall guy too, got some good speed on him. And Giants are a team that really needs speed receivers. They do like to throw deep passes, especially post routes. And I think Kenny Galladay is going to fit perfectly with the Giants.
Now here's the thing. Before you guys say anything, I know he sucked for the Bengals, but they did sign John Ross, who
They
did run
and
a 4-2 what? A 4-2-4?
4-2-2. 4-2-2.
Who signed the Giants?
Yes, the
John
Giants
Ross
signed
for the
John
Giants.
Ross.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
again another thing. They're deep threat. They're a deep threat team. They like to go deep, and they did that a lot against the Eagles this year on both games. And we're definitely going to see that more this year, especially with the new guys they got.
I mean, it is now clear. I'm going to be honest. Going back to Brandon's question on what the Giants are going to do with Danny Dimes, I think this kind of solidifies that I think the Giants are kind of looking to build off of Danny football. I'm going to be honest. They're giving him the weapons that he wants. 2 new receivers. John Ross, I think, will serve as a special teams guy, but also I think it's perfect mock for Macaulay Hardman, who was able to line out. Who was able to line out for the Chiefs, but also played really well in the special teams. Same size, same speed. Well, John Ross is obviously the fastest. Well, no, he's not the fastest player in the NFL. Tyreek Hill is, but second fastest player in the NFL, as far as I know. So yeah, I think again, great move by the Giants. I'm not sure I agree with the contract, but let's move. Speaking of receivers, just some other names to throw out there at receiver. Will Fuller 5. Fraz loves Will Fuller 5. Corey Davis also went to the Jets. Where did Will Fuller go again?
Dolphins.
Oh man, yep, Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yes, Dolphins. Again, just some teams trying to build some talent around these young quarterbacks. I love it. You love it. We love it. I think it's a great move by all these teams. And now let's get into not only the Juju Smith-Schuster, but the Steelers as a whole. So, the team started 11-0, and then they lost 4 of 5 to close out the season. And, now the Steelers are in trouble in a few places, but the one place now we are not in trouble, which you could argue we weren't in trouble anyway, was the receiver position. Juju is going to take a 1-year, $8 million deal for the Steelers. So obviously the team has some other holes. As far as their cap space situation, it is not good. After the Juju deal, we are sitting around $2.3 million in cap space. So Brandon, I'll ask you first. Do you agree, even though it cost the team only $8 million, do you agree with this Juju signing?
I do, because listen, man, if it was like Juju at like 15, 16 million a year, I would have said no way. But at him at 8 million a year, I totally agree with the deal. I think it's a good contract. I think that's right around where he's worth, about 8 million a year. It is going to cost the Steelers a player though. Steven Nelson is going to be off the team to fit Juju's salary on the team. So it will cost them a player. But the Steelers, to me, this is a bigger thing. If the Steelers need to get a running back. They need to get a veteran running back in free agency, and they need to get a young running back in the draft. Because if Benny Snell's our starting running back come next season, then it was a complete failure of an offseason, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I think the problem now is we're too deep into free agency. I'm gonna be honest. There's not really anybody left. Chris Carson just re-signed. What's that?
I mean, there's a couple veterans. Isn't that dude that should have been the MVP for Kansas City? That running back, he didn't play last year, but he's a free agent. Why not pick him up? I forget his name.
Dame Williams, I think.
Yeah, Damian Williams. He's still available. And then I know Le'Veon Bell. I know he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way in Pittsburgh, but why not pick him up as a veteran running back? And then draft Najee Harris, or I really, really, really like that running back from North Carolina. I think he's going to be a great player.
I do like Javonte Williams.
Yes.
I do like Javonte.
Beast.
Now, Fraz, I'll basically just ask you. Brandon kind of just asked the question already for you. But how does this affect everything that happened with this Juju signing? Now that the Steelers are kind of in a in a cap trouble. Steve Nelson wants out. Everybody thinks that the Steelers should take a running back or a lineman first round. Does that change?
No, I don't think it changes. I like definitely like a running back first round. I mean, we'll see. Travis Etienne, I don't know when he's gonna go, and then Najee Harris. It just depends on what a team needs. But if either of them are there, they're definitely going with either one. I think personally.
No,
because running backs, I think running backs personally are going to be a big thing in this draft. I don't know about you, but that's what I think.
No, I agree. I don't think, me personally, and draft analyst Mel Kiper, who's been talking about drafts for the past 40 years, he thinks, which I agree with him. I think only one running back is going to go in the first round, the entire first round. They're both really good players. I'm going to be honest. I don't see Travis Etienne falling to the first round. I think he's a very one-dimensional player. He's receiving and quick cuts. That's pretty much it. I like him. I want him to come to the Steelers. But I mean, I don't know. I think the Steelers should probably go running back first round. Najee Harris is the perfect fit for Pittsburgh. Listen, the Steelers are known for having that power offense when we do run the ball. And Najee Harris is capable of catching a ball or two. So I think Najee Harris is a perfect fit. If not, there's a few linemen who I think are perfect fits as well. But now the question is, if Steve Nelson leaves, what are we going to do at corner? I mean, Joe Hayden might not come back. I think he's an old fart bag who costs us too much money. Obviously, Mike Hilton's gone, and Cam Sutton's is our only guy. Brandon, what you thinking?
I mean, with Steven Nelson, man, to be honest with you, man, I don't know who the Steelers should have kept between Juju and Mike Hilton, because I think that's what it really came down to. Either keeping Juju or Mike Hilton, which I like Juju. Mike Hilton, though, man, that's going to be a huge loss for the Steelers. That's going to be a big-time loss.
Huge loss.
But Joe Hayden, man, I think Joe Hayden's a good veteran. You know what I mean? He's a quality corner still, I think. Man, Steven Nelson, man, I think the Steelers need to try to restructure his contract or talk him out of trying to be traded, because the Steelers need him, because we're very thin at corner. But now, since we're losing all of our corners, does it start to peak now that the Steelers could potentially draft a cornerback in the first round? Just something to keep.
See, that's what I think that's the biggest question, Brandon, is now what are the Steelers going to do in the first round? I'm going to be honest. Mike Hilton was our best corner. Cam Sutton's the better coverage guy, but if you watch Steelers games and you watch how Mike Hilton plays, he's not only a corner, he's also an edge rusher. Mike Hilton, believe it or not, a season ago rushed more times than TJ Watt did. Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. He rushed more than TJ Watt, not last season, the season before.
That's crazy.
And I think that's a big thing is that how lethal in my opinion, Mike Hilton is the best run stopping corner in the NFL. He's iffy in man, good in zone because again really good in as a run stopper. So that kind of ties hand in hand of just playing positional football. But Fraz, I'll ask you the same question. What are the Steelers going to do at corner now?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I wish they can get a corner in the draft, but I just don't think there's going to be a good enough one to go for. Maybe, I mean, if they're really thinking of getting a corner in the draft, might as well go second round because the fact that there's going to be like after I think like the third cornerback, it's going to be pretty much
There's
like
a drop. There is a
each,
drop off. Yeah.
it's gonna and they're all going to be like the same. So I mean, if that's what they want to do, then go ahead. I don't know what their cap space is, Billy. You probably know, but
Yeah, they're in
maybe
trouble.
yeah. So I don't know
Huge
what
trouble.
they're gonna do. They what was their secondary? How was their secondary defense? Where were they ranked in the NFL? I couldn't even.
Pretty
I couldn't even
good.
tell you.
Minka was the best safety as far as coverage in the NFL. He
So,
basically covered a whole third of a football field for us.
I mean, honestly, if I think we got to focus more offensively for the Steelers. I don't know about you guys. I thought the offense was kind of tough this year with the Steelers for the sole fact that Ben was just it was just tough for him to move in the pocket, get to our receivers, our running back. James Conner did what he had to do, but our offensive line can only hold up so much for our running back. So I think they got to go more offensively.
And that's the worry for me is that there are teams like the Steelers that are in the same exact boat. You look at the Chiefs now; they signed an old fart bag who I like, Chris Long. Okay, I love Chris Long, but what is he going to do? He's not going to do crap. There are a ton of teams in the NFL right now that are in trouble, especially on the offensive line. So now I'm worried that one, the Steelers have too late of a pick to waste on a lineman in the first round because honestly, all the linemen that are available for the Steelers picks are reaches that you can definitely get in the second round. But then that's the question: what are you going to do in the second round? What are you going to do in the first round? It even comes down: what are you going to do in the fourth round? Personally, I have them taking Najee Harris round one, round two. I fixed it now. I have them taking Asante Samuel Jr., who Asante Samuel is a Hall of Famer. His son's entering the draft this year. I see the Steelers taking him round two now. I think this is just a big hole for that Steelers defense now and a huge hole. Especially, I mean, again, it's too early. Even the day before the draft, it'll be too early. You have to see, like Brandon said, we have to convince Steve Nelson to come back. A restructured contract would also help. But that's the problem. He already doesn't. He already wants to go. What will make him think? Oh, you know what? I'll come back and I'll be cheaper. Like I don't see that happening either.
Maybe convince him that he could be the number one corner on the Steelers if he comes back. Maybe try to present a coverage that might benefit his game more. You know what I mean, or something.
He's a hybrid corner. He's not great. He can play pretty well in both man and zone. I think he's more of a man guy, which I think the Steelers should convert straight to man now that what they have. Yeah, and Caden, I'll actually bring you in right now for that. I've been waiting to bring you in. So you said this. You add extensions, but voidable years. Now, can you talk to me about what voidable years are? Because that's a big part of Taysom Hill's contract.
Yeah, so the voidable years is more of a, hey, we're going to sign you an extension. We're going to give you all this money, but we can cut the contract whenever we want.
Yeah, it's not
guaranteed. Yeah. So you have your actual guaranteed money, then your base salary, and then the years that they signed you for. So like with the Taysom thing, I think it was 4 years, 160. He's probably only going to get like maybe a year or two of that plus the guaranteed money he was offered. So if Steve Nelson would say like, hey, I want to be paid $10 million a year, they said, okay, we'll pay you it next year in your guaranteed money plus give you a 3-year extension of voidable years.
Yeah, they need to. This is, I mean, their second round picks also aren't great either. We're late just like the first round. So there are teams that There are teams before us. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, that are in. I'm like Max. But that are also in the same boat as us. No linemen, no DBs. We're just in trouble, and I'm even worried for next year. The following year after this, I think we're going to be in even more trouble. We're going to need a quarterback. T.J. Watt's contract's up. Minka's contract is up. Juju's contract is up. Everybody's contract is up. So we're just going to be in. We're going to be.
The Steelers have one more year to try to win it before it's all screwed.
And then it's just going to be
That's the reason Juju came back.
A couple years. Maybe we'll lose a couple years and then just say, you know what? Let's become the Patriots and just sign every free agent. Let's go. We have 60 mil, 70 mil. Why don't we just sign everybody? Which, by the way, after all those moves, the Patriots still have 9.8 million. Still, that's a ton considering all the guys. They're in a good spot. They can maybe get one more guy for the right price. They did re-sign Mark. I forget his name. Andrews, the center. They got him back, which was big. There was some questions about that. But again, New England just stealing everybody right now. The Bill Belichick effect, if you will. Guys, I think that's all I have for today. I thought today was a pretty good show. We covered everything. Oh no. Sorry. I know you were thinking about it, Fraz. You were thinking about it, Fraz. TikTok versus YouTube. They're fighting. I don't really know what's going on. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So here, I'll show you the card. Let me share my screen here. You're about to get pulled into the polar vortex. This is what we call it here. Whoa! And look, you can see the delay. Oh no, yeah, you can. Okay, so let me go here. Here. So here is the card. Who you got winning? Question mark. So the battle of the platforms. YouTubers on the left, TikTokers on the right. We were talking before. I don't know.
If you could make that screen a little bit bigger, just like zoom in if you can. It's kind of
a little bit bigger, Frazzy. Let me see if I can do that. Let me. Oh no, wait.
Right.
See, I zoom in.
There you go, Bill.
It's working, but it's not. Let me see. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, I have my own, so I mean, as long as it's okay. But
okay. Yeah. So for those of you who can't see. For those of you who can't see what's going on, I'll let you know what's going on. Again, half of these. Oh my. Jeez. Half of these guys, I don't know. I know most of the YouTubers. Actually, I know all the YouTubers. So first fight is going to be Tanner Fox versus Nick Austin. I don't know any of the TikTokers really. FaZe Jarvis is going to be fighting Michael Lay. DDG the rapper is going to be fighting Nate Wyatt, who I want to punch his face. Half these guys I want to punch their faces. And then it's going to be a voted fight versus Taylor Holder. Danny Duncan's going to be fighting, again, another pick there. Deji, who I hate so much, is going to be fighting Vinny Hacker. And then the main card, I hate both of these guys. Austin McBroom versus Bryce Hall. Now, Fraz, I'm gonna talk to you about this because you're the one. Oh, Polar Vortex, I forgot. Fraz, you're the one who would probably know the most about this. Austin McBroom versus Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall. So the tail of the tape here. Austin McBroom's a short dude. Oh my God, Bryce Hall's a bigger, stronger guy. I have Bryce Hall here. Fraz, who do you have winning this fight?
Wait, what'd you say?
June 4th is the date for these fights.
June 4th on live. It's called Live. It's an app you can
live, folks. Yep. Live.
Personally, Austin McBroom has 5 years. I believe it's 5 years on Bryce Hall. So he's an older dude, more developed, grown man. I think personally, he's been fighting too. He's been training for a fight against another YouTuber for a while now. I forget who the YouTuber was. So he does have a little bit more experience in boxing, I'd say, from Bryce Hall. I personally want Austin McBroom to win. I can't stand Bryce Hall. So that's going to be my pick for that.
Yeah,
fight.
that's a very biased Very, very biased. Very, very biased because Fraz doesn't like Bryce Hall.
I'm not a big
Yeah,
TikTok.
Caden. What if Juju's on the card?
Hey, you got to make up for the money you lost
if
out with the
that would-
Steelers.
Yeah, honestly, Danny Duncan. Nah, they're boys though. I don't. Danny Duncan and
Yeah,
Juju.
no, Danny
yeah.
Duncan would not fight Juju.
Hey, you see
They
the
are-
punches he was taking from Garcia? Man, he could
Oh,
box
yeah.
if he really wanted to.
Yeah, this is, and I want to go into this some of the other fights. The guy who really stands out to me that is just not my cup of tea and is just I think a really big loser is Taylor Holder. I'm not a big fan of him. And I actually commented on Danny Duncan's post, and he was saying who should we pick for the other YouTuber, and I personally said Bradley Martin because I would love to see that fight, Bradley Martin against Taylor Holder, because Brad. Well, I don't know if you've seen Brad. Brad is a big guy. Either Brad or Steve will do it. I think that's a good matchup. And personally, another TikToker who I really don't like is Josh Richards, and I hope he fights Danny Duncan. And Danny Duncan just, yeah. I mean,
I want to
let's just say I'm pro TikTokers. I really like the DDG Nate Wyatt fight, though. I think that's going to be the best fight. I think that's actually going to be somewhat of a boxing match. Because both of these guys are, they've had beef for a while. They're definitely going to go at it, and DDG's a big guy, and so is Nate Wyatt. So we'll see what happens there, but I got DDG in that fight. Billy, what about you?
Oh, Bill's for real lagging here.
Yeah.
Lag.
Oh, I'm lagging?
Yeah.
Yes.
You are lagging.
Hello?
You've been lagging this entire time.
Am I okay now, or am I still bad?
Yeah, you're good
You're
now.
You good?
Oh, I'm very delayed though. I'm gonna. I don't like any of these guys. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't like any of them.
I don't even know any of these guys.
Man, I know
one of
FaZe
them.
Jarvis, and that's about it.
Yeah,
I know
again,
all the
I don't know
YouTubers.
any-
I don't know really any
Yeah,
of the
YouTubers.
any of the TikTokers other than Bryce Hall and Taylor Holder. Those are the only two that I know. I don't really know. Actually, and Nate Wyatt.
Man, how
but-
awesome would it be to see Juju get in the ring with somebody though?
Yeah, that'd be
he
epic.
won't though.
That'd be
He won't.
awesome.
There's no
won't.
way. He won't fight.
He might
Danny
beat somebody up for it though.
It's somebody he really dislikes. He can go on the YouTuber or the TikTok side.
Yeah, he definitely.
Billy,
No,
technically, you're a YouTuber. You could definitely go up against Taylor Holder if you wanted to.
Oh my god! I would. Just...
You are a YouTuber, so
Hey,
I am a
listen, man.
YouTuber.
I am too. I have more subscribers.
Oh,
Brandon,
yeah,
you want to fight
Brandon's
Taylor
more
Holder?
oh my!
Brandon's
take
more of a
both of you in a
YouTuber than I.
fight.
Brandon
take both
versus
of you in a
Taylor
fight, though.
Holder.
Yeah, I think
Don't
it's
count
so
me out.
stupid.
Billy
but I-
said June 4th. It's June 5th, everyone. By the way,
Oh, fifth.
don't even say I'm sorry because you've been apologizing this entire stream.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for.
Man,
You know what? I'm gonna end it here, guys. Thank you for coming on today. So, what did we talk about today? For those of you who decided to join with the last 30 seconds, you bozos. No, I'm kidding. So what did we talk about today? We talked about how LeBron done for the year. Bozo might be done. And we talked about the Penguinos, how they're not playing bad hockey right now, but they are also battling some injury. And also, again, our NHL weekly now. I am saying it, weekly NHL roundup. It's happening. We talked about TikTok fights. I don't even want to talk about that anymore. How Deshaun Watson might be a weirdo. And some other free agency news there, guys. And how Ohio State lost to a team that's named after a guy named Oral. Listen, thank you for coming out today. Great stream. Again, any questions about anything, email me at bdivatb@gmail.com. No, not that. bdiv@atb.gmail.com. No, that's not it. What the heck? That's my email right there. Again, thank you guys for coming on the show, and we will see you later. I'm going to try this now.